There has been a nuclear accident in the Soviet Union, and the Soviets have admitted that it happened. The Soviet version is this. One of the atomic reactors at the Chernobyl atomic power plant near the city of Kiev was damaged, and there is speculation in Moscow that people were injured and may have died. The Soviets may have been fairly quick to acknowledge the accident because evidence in the form of mild nuclear radiation had already reached beyond the Soviet borders to Scandinavia.
Pretty nice, huh? Okay. Okay, wait. What about this? Yeah, just pass it. Yeah, recording. Go. Oh, here, this one.
Go, be quick.
Train's gonna leave. Yeah, go. You good? Thanks. In Strange Explorers, like, we're in Chernobyl, right on the side of the reactor, and there's a train here, and there's people here, and there's everything. Life's here. This is the kind of stuff that you'll never see, but that's why I want to show it all. I want you all to see this and be educated on it. So we're going to be staying and sleeping in a place called Slalutic. What happened in the whole history on this city is that, did I say it right or not? What are you laughing?
Sir?
Did I say it?
I'm just like getting major kick out now.
Oh, okay. Oh, because the whole YouTube thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. A year after the whole reactor blew and everyone was evacuated, they wanted to build another Pripyat. Well, sorta. They needed to build another city that was just great, and so they built this place. And they built it pretty much as fast as they can in 1 year. Because everyone had, when they evacuated, they didn't know where to go. They stayed at families, relatives, villages, you know, anywhere but Pripyat where they all lived. So they built this whole city in a year as fast as they can, and that's where they brought everyone there. So people after the whole incident are living there right now as we speak. So that's where we're going, and that's where also the workers who are here go as well. And we're going there just to stay for the night. Then we're coming right back here again in the morning and filming again. Yo, bro! Yo! Woo! We're on a whole train full of workers in Chernobyl.
Yeah,
it's interesting to me.
We're getting out.
Yeah.
You good with it?
So as of today, the only people living in this city are the ones that work in Chernobyl and in the Chernobyl reactor.
Well, we're leaving the train station now. I mean, this is it.
Everyone that comes to this town literally just gets on a train and gets off and goes. Like, there's really not many cars here. It's just, they all live here pretty much just to work in Chernobyl at this point.
Pizza. We got pizza here. We got a bunch of random stores. It's just thrown here. Nothing's really organized. It was just built quick in a year. Some of this stuff ain't even built yet.
Just passed through some of the most craziest, strongest checkpoints ever. Security checkpoints just to get here, but we're finally in, walking down this hallway going right. So it seems to be to like the control room and the reactors, but I'm not sure. And like, we are really going to the reactor. I mean, we're going right in, right now. Well, not the reactor. So, we're about to enter like one of the reactors or control rooms, one of the other. Look at this. The fact that we're looking at the control room for reactor 2 is amazing. And you can see how it looks. It's like so dark in here and beaten up. It's so old.
111 control rods, additional graphite rods that is being put inside the unit to decrease the power of the unit.
Learn, but he knows way more. I can't even. I'm trying to. He's telling me it, and I'm like, wait, can you repeat it? Because I don't understand. But obviously, we've been to an abandoned one before, and I remember seeing this being inside one of the control rooms, and I remember that's part of the active zone of the reactor. So I remember that part. But like all the numbers and colors, only he knows. But he's somewhere. Where'd he go? Oh, he's right there.
Yeah, here we've got the active zone of the nuclear unit. Yeah.
Yeah.
When it was in operation, all the it was totally lightened
Yeah.
from inside. And the white color are the fuel channels, the blue color are the control rods, and the yellow the detectors.
Okay.
Yeah. Control rods, fuel channels, and detectors. 3 things you need to mention to your viewers.
Yeah, thank you. I tried everything I could to get inside control room 4. I asked him, and he says they're gonna try to commercialize it another time. But for now, there's no way you can go in. So I can't go in. We can't go in.
So close.
I know.
And so far.
And he wants to. He wants us in.
God, I've been waiting years for this.
I know. You know what? We got inside 2, and the only difference between 4 is that obviously it controlled reactor 4 that blew up. But I seen pictures on the inside, and it's like really like just very dark inside that room. So I'm just gonna insert a picture here, so at least you can see it. But at least it's still the same kind of like atmosphere. It's still the same everything. It's just destroyed. I tried.
Too.
And,
It's
yeah.
almost radioactive in some parts.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, but I mean, honestly, the stuff we've already been doing has been already perfect enough. So I'm not even like trying to be greedy, like, let me get inside. It's okay. And maybe when, they actually make it commercialized where we can go in, I'll come back. But I'm pretty sure this is the last time I come to Chernobyl.
System of the control. So what is it?
Yeah, what is that?
It's a kind of a monitoring center for the unit number 4. We are monitoring it to be sure that it's safe.
This room.
This room is
Okay.
we've got here 2 operators that monitors the unit number 4
Ooh.
to be sure that it's safe. Yeah, that's much more important than all other things.
Yeah, this is like the hot room right
We
here.
have 4 systems here. The first system in the right upper corner is a kind of a system of the seismic control. We've got 5 seismic stations in the exclusion zone, and one of the station is located on our industrial site. The most important thing. The system of the nuclear controls mostly concentrated on the core of the unit number 4 and the central hall above.
That's where the fuel melted through. That's
That's
the tank. But when the meltdown occurred, it went down into the basement. So like that elephant's foot, that's a mixture of fuel and lead and graphite and stuff like that. So that's basically the floor below. So when it overheated, it just dripped down like lava and it just filled out here.
So technically, elephant foot is right here.
Oh, you can ask him where it is. I don't know. I mean, it's got to be in one of these floors because it was just like lava coming down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure what this is. I'm not sure if that's from the rooftop because everything, when it blew, it went boom, and then everything landed all over the roof. That's where all the liquidators and firemen had to like scrape it off and just like they only had 40 seconds and they had to like shovel it off into the roof. So I'm wondering if that's what that is. 3,000 guys went on the roof and they had 40 seconds each to take one shovel and just and then run. And most of them, I don't know, most of them paid for it. But yeah, this is the real deal. This is like when they were dumping lead and sand, it all melted down and came down into the bottom.
Dude, that's like the most dangerous place on earth right there.
That, I mean, if we were somewhere dangerous,
Yeah.
I ain't going there.
Yeah.
No one's going there.
Right here is where the elephant's foot is. This is the reactors right here. And it dripped when it blew and exploded. Dripped down into here. And it all built up right here, and that's the elephant's foot. Go, gotta go.
Get the volume.
Super means it's 2.
And that was that. We are back. I mean, look at the hair now.
Don't worry, I got your back, bro. Look at how bad this looks.
Damn. We're all looking bad.
What do you mean, damn?
Damn, we look good. That's what I meant. Yeah, boy. Just looped around and ended up behind the reactor of 4. Look at now the dome's over it. And this is where me and Misha was. And we took the Geiger counter when we took it away from the statue. And when the air was drifting through, because the radiation was leaking out and there was no dome over it, it was beeping. It was beeping. It was like, you know, whatever, 2 microsieverts or something. But now it's not leaking at all. So if we had a Geiger counter here, it wouldn't even beep, period, whether the wind's coming here or not. But I just remember this area exactly. I remember seeing how the reactor looked. And now the dome's over it. It's so interesting. It's crazy how, like, we came together though and literally built that huge, like, hangar and perfectly sized it right to go right into the reactor.
So, first of all, pictures, filming are not allowed through the windows. Yeah, it is connected with the project on physical protection and access control. Okay. So no pictures through the window. Everything which is inside,
through that window,
it's okay.
Is the dome.
Yeah, but
and here's the dome. Look at the hangar or whatever. It goes right over the Eiffel Tower.
The information. So it will be very difficult for me.
It goes right over the Green Lady.
To check whether you... first of all, let me introduce myself once again. Yeah, I'm Julia. I represent Chernobyl International Department, and I will present you the information about the shelter object, about the works which are in progress, and a few words about the most prominent project at the site, the project on the new safe confinement. Yeah. Unfortunately, the visitors nowadays, they do not have a chance to see the shelter in the regional, because you know that November 2016, the new facility was placed into its design position. So get the information to illustrate the information what is presented. So here you can see the place of the explosion. It's RBMK type reactor, water-cooled, graphite moderated, channel type reactor, high capacity reactor, 1,000 megawatt capacity reactor, 3.2 million kilowatt of thermal capacity reactor. Yeah, just imagine that before the accident, 4 reactors of such type were operated at the site. 4 reactors. In April 1986, 4 reactors. Reactor 5 and Reactor 6, they were under construction. Yeah. Reactor 5, practically 85% of readiness. It has changed the human's attitude to the generation of nuclear power. It has changed the human's attitude to the issues of safety, the culture of safety. So, 25th of April 1986, yeah. You know that on that very day, the technical experiment should be conducted. It was not just an experiment, yes, it was, more exactly, it was the equipment testing. Yeah, it was necessary to measure the vibration of a turbine without electrical load on turbo generator. It was the so-called a no-load experiment. Yeah. It was necessary to get the information whether it was possible to use the kinetic energy of turbo generator rotor, yeah, as an additional source. After that, the reactor poisoning began. Xenon and iodine poisoning, they're products of decay poisoning, right? Later on, by the way, it was stated that this type of reactors, RBMK type reactors, they're very poorly operated, yes, at low capacities. But it was later on. It was after the accident. It was after the explosion. After a sharp decrease of capacity, the operational personnel took a decision to increase their capacity. Yes, and it was increased up to 200 megawatt. Yes, they decided not to increase their capacity anymore. Their experiment was completed, and in the program it was written that at the end of the testing, the reactor should be shut down. So the operational personnel decided to press the emergency protection system red button as a 5 red button, yeah, because their testing was completed. And in accordance, here is it. Here is it. In accordance with all the rules, by pressing the emergency protection system red button, the absorber rods should go to the reactor core, the chain reaction should be stopped, yeah? The reactor should be shut down. A very fast-acting emergency protection system was introduced at all types, at all the reactors of such type, not only the Chernobyl type, not only in Chernobyl, but everywhere where these very reactors were operated. Yeah. But you know that their they were placed on
Explorers, this is the ventilation system in the reactor 4.
Yes,
And the crazy thing about that ventilation system is that I actually seen it from my own eyes. I recorded it in my old series. I showed it. Well, once the dome was put over it, a month before, they had to take that system down. They had to take the whole ventilation system down. And the crazy thing about it is that it was never cleaned or touched since the accident. So it was one of the most contaminated things ever. And so they had a month to take it down. They had guys go up in full hazmat suits, and they were only able to go on that ventilation system for 2 minutes, or else they would have, they would have taken so much radiation they would have died in the future. So in those 2 minutes, they would go on that ventilation system, attach strings or whatever or chains to the system, and then hurry up and get off. And they would switch guys every 2 minutes to get it done, so the crane could take that ventilation system off, so they could put the dome over it. That's insane. It's incredible too, but it's insane, the amount of teamwork that was needed. They needed the whole world to help on this. And now that the dome is over the whole reactor, there's cranes inside, and they're gonna work on decommissioning and cleaning up as much as they can inside there. The reactor is, as you said, if you heard her say that, there's 13,000 tons of radioactive particles inside there, and 3,000 of them are inflammable. And if they catch on fire, it's going to ruin a lot, and it's going to go into the atmosphere and the air, and yeah, so it's still very dangerous in there, as you know. And so we don't really know what's going to happen, but there are robots inside there and cranes, and they're all going to work together. Humans can't do it, so they designed these robots and everything, and so they're going to be starting that task in a few. Right now they still have to work on sealing the last part, and apparently if you can take a Geiger counter to the last part that's not sealed in that dome, it can read up to 6 sieverts. 6 sieverts is 1,000 millisieverts, and it's 1,000 microsieverts to get 1 millisievert. So think of that. You're around there for an hour or so, you're probably cancer. Hope you're understanding and hope you're watching. I hope this ain't boring. This is more of a learning process, explorers, because a lot of it, it's cool seeing the abandoned side, but we have to see everything, including all this as well. And for me, being here and learning about it is mind-blowing, because like I said, I don't like reading books or anything like that. I like to experience it, and this is whoa.